See my share of broken strings, lost picks, I cannot find. Yeah, okay, I don't torture you anymore. So, for all of you that have been watching my videos, I apologize. I know they're boring as hell. And this one probably serves up to be about the same. So, uh, just thought I would make a video, and not that I'm one of those promo kind of guys that I get paid to do these sort of things. This is basically me as a young guitar player. Okay, a new guitar player. That's probably better wording for it. Learning stuff and trying to figure out how to work my maze through learning how to play the guitar and stuff, right? So, as an example, Keith Urban. I love Keith Urban. I love his music and stuff. I think he's one of the most amazing guitar players. However, if Keith Urban got on YouTube and said, this is the best guitar I've ever played, well, you're Keith Urban. You could make a tin can sound good. And, as a buyer, we're very aware of that buying stuff like that based on somebody like Led Zeppelin or Keith Urban or all those guys have been playing guitars for a century or two, and they're amazing players. So, of course, it's going to sound good. It's like when you go to buy a t shirt like this one, and it's got all muscles and stuff, and it makes it look, like you're going to be some hot guy. Yeah, not so much on me. It's just a regular T-shirt. So, what this video is all about is about not promoting so much, but about what, as a guitar player, I've learned, and purely from a beginner's perspective, and what I think is quality for me, and that sort of thing. So, this one is all about picks. And the other one I want to do is about guitars and my journey of what I purchased, what I paid for it, and how I'm, progressing through playing guitar. This, by the way, is my Fender. I think it's a Fender. Yeah, it's a Fender guitar. I bought this in Hamilton before I left, and quite frankly, it was a relatively cheap guitar, but it turns out it's my go-to guitar. I've got 5 other guitars, all very good quality, and I just recently bought a electric acoustic hollow body guitar, which I'm anxious to start playing with, but we'll see. Anyway, it's not like I get paid to do the merching and stuff here. You notice that I am wearing a rather stunning T-shirt today with, the what do you call it? Weather advisory logo on the front of it. For those of you who don't know, that's Sam's. Sam's in a band called Weather Advisory, and he's my guitar teacher. If you haven't looked him up on YouTube, you got to go look, especially if you're a guitar player. He plays the cigarette box, single string guitar or a 3-string guitar, and he does a lot of blues stuff. He's actually an amazing guitar player. His dad actually gets in some of the videos with him. And it's kind of weird though. I think his dad looks younger than him. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, his sister also plays piano. Very musical family. So it's no wonder that I'm learning from some of the best, right? So let's get on with things, shall we? It is not like I'm go to Weather Advisory website. Uh, anyway, Sam also does survival stuff. He actually told me the other day about him and his dad going out in I think it was a lean-to or something in the middle of a snowstorm. Not my thing. I much prefer to go in the middle of a snowstorm in a hot tub, glass of wine, that sort of thing. Anyway, so let's get on to what we're talking about today. So what I want to do is I want to play one chord, which is a G. All right. Now I'm going to warn you. This guitar I just got back from the luthier. I was corrected because I kept saying Lutheran, and they were going, no, it's kind of like a religion. Anyway, from the luthier. And I'm going to say this to all beginner guitar guys. You can go out and buy a $50 guitar or a $15,000 guitar. And if it ain't set up right, it's going to sound like a $50 guitar. When I got here, I was recommended to take my one guitar to, it's called McLeod Guitar Repair, or Music, I think. Um, Guy's amazing. He is like a guru at guitars. Hopefully I got the name of the right business there. I'm old. I get away with this stuff. Anyway, And he sets up all my guitars. So this guitar in particular, the strings actually between the spaces weren't even. The bridge was crooked. There was all sorts of problems with it, and I took it into him. But I'd been playing it for over a year, and it was not good when I got it back. So even now when I play it, it sounds amazing. But because I'm used to playing it the way it was, when I go to play a C, for example, you hear this. That buzzing, that's because my finger is hitting the E string. Because I'm used to it being so far away because they weren't spaced properly. So now what it's causing me to do is stop and go nice and clean sound, right? I don't know if the sound quality comes through on this thing. I've never listened to it, so hopefully it doesn't sound that bad. So let's get on to the topic today so we're not wasting time, okay? Let's stop fooling around here. All right, so for those that know me, that I've been in the construction trade for quite a few years and renovated some houses and stuff, and over the years I've injured myself a lot. And it comes from being, if you're a framer or a plumber, plumbers tend to get cuts in their hands and stuff. Framers whack their fingers with the hammer, that sort of thing. It just happens. So if you're doing all of those trades, which I do, you end up getting injured every way that every one of those trades can be injured. Okay, so as a result of that, this hand actually was in a car accident and this finger was bent. So it looked like that, kind of going straight out. And I had to be in cast and stuff for a while. So I have arthritis in that finger. And quite frankly, switching from chord to chord, you can actually hear my hand going clunk, 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 clunk. So I've been working with a tool that is strengthening my fingers. And I'm noticing that my switching of my chords is getting better. The other hand, unfortunately, it's just from years of swinging a hammer or a pair of pliers or whatever, and it's just gotten to the point that I can't hang on to the guitar pick. So if I'm using something like this, for example, something like this, Amazon, this is a 0.120 millimeter. So those of you that don't know, they're just getting into guitars, the lower the number of 0.80 is a lighter pick and the 1.2 is a heavier pick. So the problem I have is that I can't hang on to the pick. And what happens is I grab the pick like this and I start to play. And after a while, the pick starts doing this on me. And then it gets to the point where I got no pick. I'm strumming sideways and I'm doing my finger. So I have to stop and go on the guitar and restart. If you're learning guitar, it's the worst thing that happens to you because you're in the middle of a strumming pattern. You're going, yeah, and now your pick cacks out on you. The other thing that happens is that you're playing away and all of a sudden the pick flies out of your hand. That's not near as catastrophic as if the pick falls into that bloody hole. The NASA scientists haven't figured out how to get that out the first shot. Me, what I do is I take it, rumble it around, make sure the pick's in the center, push upwards and flip, and it comes out. And sometimes you get unlucky enough that when it comes out, it lands on the string so that when you turn it back, it goes back in the guitar. So back to the picks. So my goal has been, first with the guitars, I've been looking for what I like in a guitar. And my travels have gotten me to 5 guitars so far. Picks are the same. I've been working my way through picks to find something that actually works for me. And my problem is unique because, like I said, I can't hang on to the pick. Some people don't like certain picks because they're not stiff enough, not flexible enough, that sort of thing. So my adventure started out. Now you can look over here, you can see all these picks lying on the counter here. And I'm just going to say that all these on this side, all came from one company. And these ones here are sort of a mixture. And this here, this big tray full of picks, this is the Amazon collection. These are what sits on my table when people are, if they come over and they need a pick, they can choose from this, and I'm not going to worry about it because I think I paid 25 bucks for a full container of picks. Now, those full container picks, and I'm just going to reach in, and so this one is the same one I just threw away. And I can tell you on my floor in my house, they're all over the place. So like I said, it slides around on my finger. So I set out to find a better pick. Where did that journey take me? So the next pick I got into, which I thought would have been great, I think these are Rocky Mountain or Blue Mountain picks, and they clip onto your thumb. And they're actually not bad. Sam actually tried it. We had a picking lesson yesterday. Sam was trying out some of these picks, and we couldn't stop laughing on some of them, and you'll see why in a minute. So the nice thing about this is, you know, they're okay, but I also find that I got to rotate my wrist to make it pass by on the way up. Um, and I think it's because I've been used to the other picks that this one just isn't doing it for me. And I say isn't doing it for me is because I probably would get used to it and probably be a great pick. But yeah, Sam loves it. He says it's a great sounding pick. He really likes it. And he's been wanting to try one, so he got to try it yesterday. Maybe after some time I would get used to it. But I also find too that after a while, the pressure on my thumb, it starts to irritate me. So I'm just whining. I'm a beginner guitarist, so please don't think that Keith Urban would probably laugh at me if he saw me using this thing because, you know, he probably plays with his fingernail better than I play with a pick. So Blue Mountain, I think it's called. The next picks I went to was I was recommended by some guitarists. This is a Dunlop, and I don't know if you can see that. See those ridges there? They're like little tiny. It's like a sandpaper finish. And quite frankly, if you take your thumb and go like this and rub it that way and squeeze, your finger doesn't want to move. However, if you do this way, it still moves a bit. So I would start playing and it would last a lot longer, but eventually it would start to move on me, just the way it was. Better than the original picks. Then I was suggested to go with a thicker pick, which is this one. Again, I think this one's made by Dunlop. Maybe you can see it. Whoever's making it, it's probably on there. It also has sort of like a sandpaper finish around it. But again, you know, like when I do this, my finger slides right off. So what makes you think that it's going to stay there? And I got to admit, this is the pick I've been using all along. Still not happy because I just can't seem to. And now that spinning of the pick might be caused by my, newbie hammering away at the strings a little too hard or something, right? Like, who knows? Again, I'm not promoting any of these picks. I'm just saying this is my journey so far. All right, so that's those two picks. Now, this pick. Now, I don't know if you can see that. See the little things there? And it's got a groove so that when you put your thumb on it, your thumb sits inside of that groove. Your finger actually sits on the other side. It's made on the same on the other side. So you have those things. So let me tell you the story about these picks. Obviously, I've been looking and constantly trying different picks and ordering them off Amazon and wherever I could get them. And a Facebook ad came up across my Facebook one day and said, "These guys are the best technology picks." And I'm thinking, come on, really? Piece of plastic. How much more technology can you get into that? I mean, really, drill a couple holes in it, put some sandpaper on it. That's the end of it, right? Okay, I admit I'm wrong. So I contact this company and I'm thinking, I'm going to try and see what it's, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be one because I do have a charge on my credit card recently where I ordered a drill and it turned out a t-shirt showed up and the company's laughing and they won't refund my money. And basically my credit card company's fighting with them. So I expected, quite frankly, being off Facebook ads, I expected kind of the same thing. So anyway, I got on their site. I ordered a bunch of sample picks that I thought I could try out, and my credit card screwed up. Said it didn't charge, did charge. I wasn't really sure. I went on and I could see the charges on my charge on the card, but the order didn't seem to get fulfilled. And so I wrote the company, said, like, what the heck? Is there something wrong with your ordering system? And the guy was customer service the best. Says, we are so sorry that happened. It's something wrong with our system. I can see the card. There's no charge on your card, but maybe it showed up and we don't know. But what stuff did you order? And we'll take care of it. And we're so sorry this happened. I'm thinking, wow, that's kind of a cool response for a first contact. And I said, well, here's the deal. I'm an older guitar player. I just started playing and I've had injuries to my hand and I have a heck of a time hanging on to the pick and I'm looking for something that would work, that will help me along my journey, blah, blah, blah. Whining, I guess. Wow. The guy says, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Just make sure those charges didn't go through, which they didn't. And he said, what I'm going to do is put a package together for you, and you try out the different picks, and you tell me which one you like. He says, because that's our goal, is to make sure that you're happy. And I thought, okay. So $70 with a sample picks show up, free of charge. So I'm thinking, wow, that's awesome. Now, I'm going to give them all a try, and I thought, well, you know what? They were nice enough to send them to me for free. They didn't ask me to do this review. And I thought, I'm just going to, give them a review and, say this is what they were like while I was dealing with them. And, if it's just a pick, it's a pick. That's the way I look at it. But I got to tell you, this was a game changer for me, mainly because I can strum with this pick and I can tell you, so there's how I'm holding it. There's how I'm holding it. It even if it does move, I can actually move my finger. I can feel it spinning on a pivot, on one of those little, like it lines up perfectly. I couldn't believe it. This alone, I would have paid the full amount of money to have a gazillion of these picks because I'm so happy with this pick. But I got a bunch of samples, so I thought, we're gonna give them a try, see how they go. So we got this one, which is because I got gorilla fingers. This is kind of nice for me. They sent me, which is this one. Same thing. Oh, where are we? Same thing. Kind of got the textures, but it's smaller. I haven't really decided if I like it, only because it gives good tone when you're picking, but because it's so small, you have to extend it a little further out, and my finger kind of rubs on the string when I'm strumming. However, probably would be a cool electric guitar pick because you don't have to strike the electric guitars well. So it is, but again, does not spin in my finger. Unbelievable. So that was that one. This one is basically the same thing, only it's glow in the dark. It's kind of cool, actually. I really like it, actually. Only because it glows in the dark. I'm going to see if they sell the bigger one in glow in the dark because, for us guys that are, if you're playing at night with a bunch of people jamming it and you'll drop the pick and it's lost in an infinity. But with this, I can see where the pick drops. So I kind of like that because of that. The gray ones are slightly bigger, basically. So let's see that. See, they're slightly bigger, and actually, I find them less cumbersome than the first one I showed you, which was the purple one. The biggest thing is that there's a bevel. It's like it's beveled on the edge, and I don't know if you notice when you see people playing guitar, they're banging away to get the volume sometimes that they want. I'm finding with these picks, I'm not banging away, and I've got this crystal clear sound coming out of the guitar, and this is not amplified. This is like a regular guitar. All right, so I kind of like this one because it fits my finger better. The other one I like because I don't know, it's just bigger. It just feels better. But this one, I think once I've gotten used to the other one, this one will be better because, quite frankly, look, you can't even see it in my finger, but it works on the strings like you wouldn't believe. All right. Still not a WF moment, quite frankly. It's a great pick, doesn't slide, so I'm happy with it. So now, so we got the three different ones. Now we got three different picks here. One is an orange, yellow, and a green. So let's go with the green first. The green, you can see it's got those dimples all over the bloody thing. Yeah. And you can tell it's their pick. Not near a WF moment, but pretty close. So let's do this. Here's the standard purple pick, right? We're going to do standard G chord. Sounds nice. Listen to this. It It's hard to explain. I can feel the string gliding on the pick better than I can on the other one. I actually know where the string is. I can feel it, and I can actually feel it twanging the string, and it brings out the higher note on the string. As an amateur, that's what I'm telling you it feels like to me. All right. So it is kind of, was almost scary when I picked it up. But still, it was okay. Would I pay big bucks for this? I think on it depending. Now, I'm going to say one thing I did learn, for example. My Fender has a different sound than my Dove. My Dove guitar um, is a warmer sounding. So if I want to take that warmer sounding and get much more clarity and higher tones to ring out, bada boom. This is the guitar pick. Okay, and this could be an electric guitar pick, quite frankly. It would. I think it would be too aggressive for electric guitar, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm a beginner, and I've never read the write-ups on these pick. I'm just going by what I feel when I play them, right? So this is a what the F. Unbelievable. So I'm going to show you this. See the two little pivot points up there? Yeah. And then it's got these little ridges on the bottom. Yeah. That I couldn't believe the sound difference. We still got a better one to go, but watch this one. Not as aggressive. It tends to slide over the strings a little bit easier. So you get a little warmer sound, but it is much louder of a pitch in the strings. So, and it doesn't move around in my finger. Right? So now there's one here. Okay, the yellow one, sorry, the yellow one is basically the same thing. So there's not much, I don't think there's much difference. Not much difference between those two picks. So I can't really say that I noticed a difference. Now, the one that I want you to see, this is a WTF pick. I mean, Sam played this and we couldn't stop laughing because of what it does. Now, take a look at this. See those little buttons on the bottom? They're like little tiny wedges. They're built the opposite way that you're strumming. And you do have the grip on top, so don't spin. All right. And on this side, I find that the logo actually sticks to my finger. When I do that, it's like it's got Velcro or something on it. It's kind of weird, actually. But it's not the Velcro that surprised us. When you go to play this, it the only way I can explain it is when I strike the string, I can feel it grabbing the string. And it brings out the tones. Honestly, I would not want to play this all the time. But if I had an acoustic guitar with a large bass, probably a little bit bigger than this, and maybe like my Dove or even the big Lions I have, it will make the strings ring out like you've never heard them ring before. I was shocked when I tried this in the first place. The only thing that I will say is that you can almost feel it dragging you to a stop when you strike the string itself like this. I can feel like I'm not downstroking. I'm just pulling it out. All I'm doing is straight out. Yeah. So when I said, what can he do with technology? Apparently a lot. So I'm really happy with the choice of picks I have, because if I'm playing my Fender, I will not use this pick. Quite frankly, my Fender does not have the volume that it needs to take advantage of this pick in my view. If I had a big bass and I wanted clarity of those tones, Yeah, this pick would kick ass, and it would make that guitar ring like you've never heard it ring before. I like the fact I have a variation of picks that I can use to play whatever guitar I've got. And as I make my journey through learning, I will find what pick works good for me, not just what works on this guitar and the other guitars. What pick works for what guitar? Because, like I said, each pick has its sort of different feeling and different sound. So I may, for example, my Lions is an electric acoustic, and I find that sometimes when I'm playing it, I don't really get the rich tones unless I'm plugged into the amp. That will fix that. This guitar, when you start getting the really high tones, it sounds tinny to me. So I tend to want to fall back to Old Faithful here, which is the Monster Purple pick, because I like the. And even when you're doing, some sort of fancy picking, like something like this, like, I find that I can tell where the end of the pick is and where, like, so you're hitting the strings properly. Listen, uh, I guess I should tell you that's the first batch of picks. Like I said, I think it was Dunlop's, and then there was the Amazon. So I should only be fair in saying that this company, uh, so it's called Attack Pick. It's AT. I don't know if you can see that. ATTAKPIK. I do not get paid by this company to do any of this. I'm just, and I'm not Keith Urban where I can make a guitar pick sound like $1 million. I'm just a normal Joe Blow trying to learn how to play guitar. And I just wanted to tell you that I spent this money, or actually I didn't spend the money. They gave them to me. Uh, but I'm ordering today some more picks from that company. Probably the same stuff I've got here. I'm going to order the same package so I have some spare picks, and I'm going to get a pick organizer so I can put them in separate containers because I kind of know in my head what they do for me. So then that way, when I go to jam with somebody, I picked up, say, I don't know, the electric acoustic I just got, the Hollow Body. It'll be interesting when I pick that up, what pick I use with it. And that's where I'll sit there with the picks and I'll strum them and see which one does it. Honestly, you cannot go wrong doing what I did. And I started with Amazon and worked my way up. And it told me what I could use and couldn't use. And the Amazon picks are great for the advanced players. I'm sure they'll spit those things up. And I've been jamming with someone and I watched them break a pick. I couldn't believe it. They broke a pick and I had spare pick with me. And when I gave it to them, they really liked some of the picks I had because I was more into the gripping than I was into the straight pick, cheap pick. And a lot of guitarists will tell you picks don't make a difference. Just buy the cheap junk. They're all the same. Wrong. Like strings. I've heard a lot on the internet where people buy the cheapest strings they can put on the guitar and they say it doesn't make a difference. If you're getting into guitar and you start learning how to tune your guitar, you start hearing it, you will notice the difference between the different quality strings. Like I've been using Earthworms strings, and then I tried, I think they're called Diablos, 15 to 35s. Um, and I find that they are much richer sounding than the Earthworms. But then you could buy the Earthworms that are probably in the same category. So they are cheaper. So in that case, I got to be quite honest with you, it's preference. I would probably buy the Earthworms because if I break a string, I don't really care. And I'm like one of these people that like to have spares. So if I break an Earthworm string on my guitar, I can replace it with an Earthworm string instead of having a bunch of other strings that are in my guitar putting a Diablo in because you will notice it and it'll drive you nuts trying to tune it because it doesn't sound the same. So, in the pick world, this has been, adventure for me. Will there be other picks that come out that will be better than this company? Yeah, I think technology is always changing, but I really think these guys have done some pretty spectacular things with a standard pick. I mean, just the feel of that one where you could feel it. It's almost like when you watch the Spider-Man movie and you see the hairs on his fingers where they're gripping things. That's what that pick feels like. It feels like little tiny hairs grabbing your fingers. So, in the end, it's your choice to buy whatever you want. But trust me when I say I'm learning the the hard way that sometimes when you spend money when you're doing this sort of stuff, you know. Other than that, as far as the guitar journey, I'm having fun. You can hear my strumming patterns are picking up. I really believe that jamming with people helps you learn and gets you better at learning strum patterns, even though you're not in your head going uh, down, up, down, up, down. You're not doing that in your head anymore. Now you're looking at them, you're hearing the sound, and you're strumming to them. And I can tell you the one night I probably did 10 different strum patterns, didn't realize I did it because I was playing with somebody who was a good guitar player and I was watching them and I was copying them. Someday I hope to be the guy that doesn't have to copy and can kind of play the way I want to play. Guitar cases and stuff that I've been picking up, I quite frankly don't fool around. Guitars are a very expensive investment. So actually I bought some hard shells off of Amazon, which I'll show you in a later video. And I'm really happy with those cases. In fact, I now have 3 of them for my guitars and probably will replace the last 2 and give my cases away to some charity or something and keep my hard shells because I love the way they take care of my guitar. Plus, they're cushy soft inside. I could fall asleep inside. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm not going to bore you with trying to play a song or anything for you and say this is how far I've progressed. I'll probably do that when I'm showing you the guitars. I'll probably strum a song or something. Those of you that recognized what I was playing there, that was Chris Stapleton, Broken Halo, played way too fast. I, for some reason, get a little excited when I play that song. I don't know why. It reminds me of my sister. Uh, anyway, but you can see that I'm progressing as far as my guitar playing. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I'd like to dedicate this video to a friend of mine who just recently passed away in a car accident here in Port Midway. We're going to miss him a great deal. I know that all of us are devastated, and my best wishes goes out to the family of that person. And I'm not saying their name because I'm not sure they would really want me to talk about them in a video, but I've just felt that I should say that I'm going to miss my friend. Have a great day, everybody.